everybody, welcome to Today in Media, where we highlight the 5 stupidest hot takes by media personalities and outlets alike. Today we have a whole list of new characters, including David Frum and Geraldo. It's going to be very exciting. I'm your host, Will Riccadella.
And I'm your co-host, Julia Nista.
Let's hop right in with number 5. We have David Frum, writing for The Atlantic. He makes the claim that if you say that you own guns to protect your family, you're pretty much saying you're just trying to show your girlfriend who's boss. And when I read this whiny piece that Frum wrote, I pretty much ascertained that he must be somebody's girlfriend.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And also, you can't really talk about these, he obviously can't talk about the real issues, so now he's talking about the fake ones. And this is something that Frum, I think, has a problem with.
Yeah, I don't understand why you got to pick on people that want to have a gun to protect their families. A lot of people get a dog to protect their families.
Exactly.
Are they trying to show their girlfriend who's boss?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. And like also as well with this guy, you can't have an a debate on the gun debate, the real gun debate, if you don't know anything about guns, which obviously if you read the Atlantic article, he doesn't know anything.
Yeah, David Frum doesn't know not know anything about guns. He doesn't know anything about anything. So let's move on. I hate that guy anyway.
Obviously. Number 4, Jessica Valenti today decided to tweet something about how girls know guys on the left and they didn't need an expose for someone, and what they're really talking about here is the Weinstein case.
Right. And
Yeah.
Valenti's a journalist, and she's saying, well, we know we don't need an expose from people on the right about lefty guys, they're pervs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all talk saying that we knew this, we just didn't report on it. Imagine it was a conservative, you know, that was these allegations came out about, they'd hop all over it, white male oppression, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a lefty guy, hey, dismiss it, no big deal.
And notice that she doesn't even name him. She doesn't even
Right.
name him. But of course, if it was someone like Bill
Right.
O'Reilly, she would have absolutely said something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl's trying to prove that she's some strong woman or whatever, but that she doesn't need an expose. No, you would have totally gone with any other conservative politician and you would have called them out by name. And here she doesn't.
And the Washington Post failed to even mention it on their on the print version and in the online version. So there you go. Moving on, we'll go to number 3, and we have Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut. Here's a guy that's trying to tell people that the government can do something to end gun violence. I mean, what are you going to do? First of all, you said you went to Nam, but you'd never even been there. You're a draft dodging coward. I really don't want to hear from you. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop.
Exactly. And you can't just ban the human will for evil. So you might as
Right.
well support those who want to act against it in bravery.
Right.
And I think that's something that we need to focus on. And Blumenthal
right.
just doesn't.
And you nailed it. He pretty much said, hey, we're going to pass a law that outlaws evil. Like, give me a break.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Which is really crazy. And then we have number 2 today, which is a NARAL comment. They decided to come out with Obamacare, total false news, saying that about 62.4 million women are going to have their birth control rights taken away, and that anyone can apply for this. If you're an employer, you can apply to not give your employees birth control.
I mean, this is and essentially the market. It's saying like they're no longer. It would be if it that they no longer force the employer to buy birth control. I mean, to the left, this is somehow a violation of their rights. I think it's a violation of the employer rights to force them to pay for this. And hey, everyone out there, want to know what's great birth control? Stop having sex for 5 minutes. And if you want to, pay for it yourself. I mean, I don't know, these costs are added to, the costs are added to the company, therefore they hire less people, all because, you need birth control.
Exactly. And I think you guys should get a pair of reading glasses too, because this was not in the executive order. Maybe if you read it, you know about it. I don't know.
Right. Moving on to the number 1 stupidest thing of the day, and I'm sure he's been on a lot of number 1 stupidest of things of the day lists, is Geraldo Rivera. He's talking about gun companies.
Charming interview with your folks.
Oh, thank you.
Regardless of your last point that you can do a bump stock, you can improvise your own bump stock. I think that manufacturers who create devices like bump stocks or silencers or other devices that have no reasonable utilization, I mean the tiny percentage for sportsmen, but generally speaking have no utilization other than to be more efficient killing machines. I believe that those manufacturers of the bump stocks should be held liable when they are used, those bump stocks and other similar devices, on others.
So what Geraldo's saying here is that, you know, the gun companies that make the silencers, that make these guns, need to be responsible when a crime happens. So in short, what he's saying is that he's going to add these costs to gun companies, and that these costs are going to be passed on to the consumer, and they're going to make buying guns even further out of reach and probably put a lot of these gun companies out of business. Essentially what Geraldo is here is a gun grabber with a stupid mustache.
Exactly. You're totally right. And, you know, when you get in a car accident, do you sue the person who got in the accident with you, or do you sue the car company?
Right.
I think you sue the person who did the action, not the car company itself.
Right. So it's like, yeah, the guy's insane. Moreover, he did take selfies in his mirror, and I think he took like ab selfies. So you've already kind of like, no one wants to listen to you anymore anyway. That's ridiculous.
Totally out.
Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. You can catch us next week or next time on Today in Media. And if you have any tips, you can write to @WillRicci on Twitter.
You can write to @Julia_Nista on Twitter.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.